To those who have faith, no explanation is necessary. To those who don't have faith, no explanation will satisfy.
Our Lady from heaven has left us a message. Am I not here who am your mother? Are you not under my shadow and protection? Why do you fear? If you are in my cloak, if you are in my arms, am I not here who am your mother? Our Lady from heaven has left us a message, a message, a message, a message, a message. If we study our history, we'll find that when the Spaniards arrived here in Mexico, they brought a completely new culture. They tried to impose the Catholic religion upon the people, and they were unsuccessful. But the appearance of the Blessed Virgin Mary in Guadalupe rallied all the Mexican people because of their belief in her, because they feel a great confidence in her words. Am I not here who am your mother? Are you not under my shadow and protection? This message that they got through our Blessed Mother brought them together. And so Guadalupe became the rallying point for all of Mexico. There's no place in Mexico where you can go that you do not see our Blessed Mother. Hotels and shoe shops, repair shops, trucks, taxis. Any place you go, you will find a little picture of our Blessed Mother with a little votive candle in some cases, different sizes, shapes, but there she is. Any place you go.
Father Jacob Yerger, a Dominican priest at the Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
We are standing in the Plaza of the Americas, in front of the new Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe. On my left is the old Basilica. The whole area of Mexico City was built on a lake. And when they built the old Basilica in 1709, the weight of the building started to sink. It was also too small to accommodate the pilgrims. The old Basilica was in service till 1976 when the earthquake hit, and so they had to make provisions for a new Basilica. We would probably be saying Mass in a tent out there in the plaza if it hadn't been for the vision of Abbot Guillermo Schulenberg. It's his vision that made possible the new Basilica.
El significado de Guadalupe es verdaderamente
The meaning of Guadalupe is extremely important, not only for our own country of Mexico,
sino para todo nuestro
but also for the whole hemisphere,
desde el Canadá, los
from
Estados
Canada,
Unidos,
United States,
Centroamérica,
Central and South America, but has also had great impact in Europe, especially in Spain.
este mensaje de María, que ella es no solo la Madre de Dios,
Mary tells us that she is not only the mother of God by whom we live,
la Madre de
but also she is the mother of all men.
las palabras de la
The
Santísima
words of our
Virgen
Blessed Mother were as follows.
No estoy yo aquí, que soy tu madre.
Am I not here who am your mother? Are you not under my shadow and protection? Why do you fear if you are in my cloak? A lot of people do not like the new basilica because it's not in the traditional form of churches as we knew them before. But this basilica is very functional. In the main body of the church, 10,000 people can participate in the services without any obstruction of any kind. In the balconies, another 4,000. The doors are so constructed that they can be opened up so that 30, 40,000 more people in the plaza can participate at the same time because they can see the altar and the image from the very end of the plaza.
It was the year 1531. His name was Juan Diago, a poor Aztec Indian, one of many converted to the church. It was different from the Aztec religion that worshipped human sacrifice. It was a religion that promised eternal life. It was Saturday, December 9th. Juan Diego went to hear Mass at the Church of Santiago. When he passed the base of a hill called Tepeyac, he heard the sounds of birds, strange for this late time of year. A voice called out his name. He climbed the hill, and there before him he saw a young woman, no more than 14 years of age. She stood in a golden mist. She spoke to him in his language. Know that I am the ever-Virgin Holy Mary, and my wish is that a temple be erected here. Go to the bishop's palace and tell him what I desire. Juan Diego went quickly to the palace of the Bishop Zumárraga, a Franciscan. The bishop asked him to prove that he had seen the Virgin Mary, to bring something to show that he was not suffering from a delusion. The next day, Juan Diego did not return to the hill because his uncle, Juan Bernardino, was near death. Juan Diego hurried off to find a priest to give Juan Bernardino the last sacrament. Suddenly he heard her voice. "What troubles you, my son? Where are you going?" He told of his sick uncle. She told him not to fear, for even at this instant his uncle was well again. At that moment, Juan Bernardino also saw her image. To Juan Diego, the Virgin Mary said, "Climb the hill, and there you will find the proof you need for the bishop." There, in December, when nothing blooms but cactus and weed, he saw the most beautiful Castile roses in full bloom. He gathered them in his tilma, his cloak of cactus fiber, and she sent him on his way. "Go and tell the bishop that he now has his sign, and he must build the temple that I asked for." Juan Diego saw the bishop again. He opened his cloak, and the roses cascaded to the floor. Suddenly, an image of the Virgin Mary appeared on the tilma of Juan Diego. The bishop and his people fell to their knees. The miracle had indeed been proven. It happened over 450 years ago. Juan Diego's tilma still exists as the most important symbol of religious faith in Mexico.
The first little chapel, the Cerrito, was built up on top of Tepeyac Hill, precisely where the roses grew, where the Blessed Mother appeared to Juan Diego. Rex votos. There are little paintings made by people who have asked our Blessed Mother for special help. For example, somebody had an accident. The person will pray to our Blessed Mother, and if she survived the accident, she will paint a little picture of the incident that took place and then present it to her as an act of thanksgiving. And so they place them on the walls.
Our Lady of Guadalupe is not just the mother of the people of my faith. She is a universal mother, just as Jesus...
Father Dunstan Stout, a Passionist father who has been with the Basilica for over 15 years.
She is the mother of Jesus for the whole country, and she is the mother of each person in the United States. I saw a young girl marching on her knees toward the Basilica, and she obviously was pregnant. I said to her, "My friend, you have a right to march on your knees if you wish, but you have another life within you. You must take care of that." She told me that she had a mandat, that is a promise, to Our Lady of Guadalupe to march on her knees across the atrio and into the Basilica. And she told me very nicely to mind my own business.
Mexico, this is the meeting place where they all join hands as a nation. The unity is symbolized in our Blessed Mother. About 15 million tourists come every year to visit Guadalupe. There are about 1 million from the United States alone. People bring their children here even before they're baptized. Then they bring them for baptism. They want to associate their children with our Blessed Mother. They come here on pilgrimages. 1,500 to 1,800 pilgrimages come every year. The largest of these groups comes from Toluca. They walk about 90 miles, and it takes them 2 days to walk. There are about 60,000 of them come for 3 and 4 days. They've come here for centuries. They come here because they feel at home. They are comforted by her words.
This experience, which I try to repeat every year, gives me happiness, but at the same time faith and confidence. I'm very happy for it.
We're friends coming from Paris, and we cannot explain the way Christians are feeling here if you don't come to Guadalupe. That's why we are here.
You feel such humility, and you feel that you are really nobody here. God is everything, and Our Lady of Guadalupe is everything to these people.
I'm just overwhelmed at the faith and the fervor of these people and the hardships that so many of them have gone through to get here.
This pilgrimage was a walking pilgrimage. It started in southwest Louisiana, and we brought along with us the 12-foot cross, weighs 80 pounds. The walk was hard. I can't say it was easy, but it was joyful, meeting the people along the roadside, and them showing their love to us.
This basilica, this place, is the religious heart of the country, the center of devotion to Our Lady.
Father Carlos Bornholz, the Archpriest of Guadalupe.
People from the humble people up to the high society, everybody is unified, united in the love and faith of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
In 1979, about 4 months after his election as Pope, our Holy Father made a pilgrimage to Mexico City. It was also his first trip out of Rome after he became Pope because he thought so much of Guadalupe. He came here as a pilgrim to honor our Blessed Mother, to show devotion and love her. The continuing miracle of Guadalupe is her picture, her image. We don't know what it really is. It's not a painting. The closest thing we have is a Polaroid film. The base for it, where the impression of the picture was made, was on Diego's cloak. It's made of coarse cactus fiber, and cactus fiber disintegrates after 50 or 60 years. It's been subjected to floods, rain, earthquakes, and it's still here. There's really no scientific explanation for the painting, but it's 450 years old, and it's still here.
Whatever the inception of the painting, it is an extraordinary phenomenon in its own right because the surface on which it's been put has stayed in a state of remarkable preservation all these years.
Professor Jody Smith, leader of a scientific research team to study the tilma.
If not supernatural phenomenon. As a non-Catholic, not having really thought about the image of Guadalupe per se, I was fortunate enough to be able to head a research team that went to Mexico in order to study the portrait of the Virgin Mary. There is a long-standing rule of thumb that any work of art, painting, portraiture, will be superimposed on a sketch. So the first step was to ascertain whether or not there was any invisible to the naked eye undersketch. And my first objective was to enlist the assistance of a noted biophysicist, Philip Callahan, who had done work in infrared photography. We could find no evidence of an undersketch on the painting. Dr. Jose Yaste, our Peruvian, has done computer enhancements of the entire image of Guadalupe, which suggests that there are reflections of the people involved in the creation of the image somehow reposing in the eyes of the picture, a reflection of the Indian Juan Diago, or in any event, a bearded figure. He has shown in a quantitative fashion that such images in fact do exist. And this is certainly an extraordinary thing if it can be confirmed. We have done nothing to preclude the miraculous basis of the image of Guadalupe believed by millions of people for centuries and today.
On December 11 at midnight takes place the Mass of Las Mañanitas. That means the happy birthday to Our Lady. Las Mañanitas means the little mornings, and it's the same song as a happy birthday in the American people.
On the Feast of Guadalupe, the Mexicans that are able to all come here, they visit friends, they eat, they get together in groups and talk and sing. They venerate our Blessed Mother and they worship God.
Look at this whole crowd that comes here every year. The whole culture comes together, the Indian culture, and this America's come now because Our Lady of Guadalupe isn't just the patroness for Mexico, but the patroness of all of the Americans. We are all one family, that whether we're Indians or Americans or Mexicans or Orientals, we're all the same family.
I come from Ireland. We've come here for approximately 25 years. I come for my own particular devotion to Our Lady of Guadalupe. From my first read of the history of Guadalupe, it seemed to make it a part of my life.
I came down here 14 years ago, and we've been coming back here ever since. And I brought my grandson this time from Pittsburgh.
Everybody is so enthusiastic about it. There's so many people here, and they all believe it. It's great.
I am Mexican, but this is my first time visiting the Basilica. I feel in my heart a lot of love. I admire the faith in the people very much. This is one thing my grandparents told me about it, and now it becomes a reality because I see it.
Guadalupe is a national holiday. Some of the local indigenous tribes come and they dance their dances for hours at a time, and other people are just part of the audience. It becomes a real holiday and a real family reunion for many people who don't see each other except once a year. Everybody has a lot of fun and everybody goes home refreshed. Some participate in the liturgical acts, celebrating Mass. They come here because they believe in her, believe in God, and whatever you ask of her, she will in some way get it for you from her divine Son. Am I not here who am your mother? Are you not under my shadow and protection? Why do you fear? If you are in my cloak, if you are in my arms.
The principal Mass of the feast is celebrated by Cardinal Ernesto Carripio Ahumada, Archbishop of Mexico City.
There's a quote from the Psalms in the Old Testament, and it says, "You have not done such to any other nation," meaning that this is the only place in the world our Blessed Mother has left her image. And all the appearances, this is the only place in the world where she has done so.
Maturaba